If you don't control your back door, it's not your house. And if we don't control this border, it's not our country. As Commander-in-Chief, I will unleash our military to crush the cartels and stop these terrorists from killing our kids.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott laying out his plan to deal with the invasion on our southern border in a new slate of commercials released this week. In a crowded field still being dominated by former President Donald Trump, Senator Scott is among the top contenders vying for a chance at the White House. So how does he plan to stand out among his opponents? The South Carolina Senator joins me now. Senator, thank you so much. It's good to see you again. Appreciate you joining the show.
Thank you. It's good to be with you as well. Appreciate being back.
Senator, you recently went down to the border. Clearly, immigration, a top issue for GOP voters. And right from the beginning of the campaign, you said you would get tough. Talk to us about your impressions after seeing the folks down there who were on the front lines.
It's just a devastating situation where you have a border, Yuma, Arizona, with a wall that's incomplete. The wall that you're seeing right now stops. And we need to spend the $10 billion so that we can have a border that goes completely across our southern border, stemming the tide of 6 million illegal crossings in just under President Biden. We also, with a border and with the available technology, could save up to 70,000 American lives. We have to crush the cartels in order to achieve our objective. That's why I've said we have to freeze their assets, sanction their accounts, and use the full force of the American government to stop them from killing another 70,000 Americans. And frankly, I would restore Title 42, not for COVID, it's been over for years, but because fentanyl is a current healthcare crisis our nation is facing. Finally, Remain in Mexico policy and the right of asylum policy will stem the tide at our border. Let's take the sign down that says America is open. Come to the front door or don't come at all. Bottom line.
Senator, just to clarify, would you be open to using or commit U.S. military forces to go after the cartels in Mexico?
We would work with the Mexican government in hopes of getting the job done in a collaborative effort. We were able to bring in El Chapo in the same process. We can work with the Mexican government, but listen, either way, the Mexican cartels must end their activities, killing 70,000 American people. With or without the Mexican government, we must get this done.
One of the challenges, Senator, that candidates in the Republican field seem to be having is how they differentiate themselves from former President Trump and from the rest of their opponents. There really aren't a lot of punches being thrown. There isn't a lot of criticism being levied against the front runner. 2.5 months into this campaign, how do you believe that you are accomplishing that? What do you believe is the issue that helps you stand out from the rest of the pack?
Well, I believe that my optimistic, positive message, anchored in conservatism, spoken with a backbone, is bringing me up in the polls very quickly. I'm thankful for that. Number two, I would say that the people that I'm running into in Iowa and New Hampshire, and of course here in South Carolina, they are starving for an optimistic, positive message as long as they know that you have the will to fight to defend the values of this nation. It's not the strength of President Xi in China, it's the weakness of President Biden here. A weak American president is terrible for our country and bad for the world. I will restore confidence and trust in the American system of government by restoring strength and integrity to our commander-in-chief by being the commander-in-chief that you can count on. So I'm going to continue to see my message spread throughout the early states, and that will give me the momentum that I need to have a chance to be the commander-in-chief, the leader of this great nation.
Senator, let's talk about national security. You are on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Are you going to be supporting this new Saudi-Israel deal, considering all of the questions and issues that the 9/11 families still have about the involvement of the Saudi government in the attacks, and also the fact that this would be the first time that the United States would be giving a security guarantee to a non-democracy? Is that a smart move?
Well, the very few things I've seen from this administration on foreign policy I would consider smart. The one thing I can tell you is that you saw the release of $6 billion recently in exchange for hostages. And when you see that deal happening, the one thing you could say, I said this 7 years ago when President Obama did the same thing around $500 million, that the price on the heads of Americans will increase with the decisions of that administration. Mm-hmm. This administration, by releasing $6 billion, is actually increasing and putting more Americans in greater jeopardy. What we know with this rising axis of evil that includes China, Iran, and Russia is that they are working together to erode the strength of the American dollar and to challenge the reserve currency of the world, which of course is the US dollar. And so when you watch Saudi Arabia today form a healthier and stronger partnership, we should ask ourselves why. Yeah. The answer is simple. It is the weakness of President Biden that is pushing allies and opportunities away from America and towards China.
So Senator, do you support the deal that the Biden administration is making right now with Saudi Arabia?
I have not and will not support the deals of this administration. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons why I reinforced the point by bringing out more information that the American people need to understand about what is actually happening within the construct of those folks who have an adversarial position to America.
Senator, recent polling in Iowa has you in third behind former President Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis. In order to close that gap further, you have to stand out. You have to differentiate yourself. And there is this strain within the Republican primary electorate that's kind of looking for a brawler. You're much more of a uniter. You're not known for kind of bringing it. But don't you think you have to do that in order to close the gap with DeSantis? And are you prepared to in this next debate, in this new this debate that's coming up over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I'll just simply say this. I grew up in a single-parent household, mired in poverty. Many of my friends were either shot and buried, unfortunately died in drug trade, or locked up. The truth is that you have to be tough to get out of a situation like that. Toughness is not a question I'm worried about whatsoever. The real question is tough enough? The answer is it's not. If we do not have the power of persuasion, the American values that we are trying to protect as the great opportunity party, we will lose. Without having someone with the power of persuasion to persuade the independents to join the Republican movement, we have no hope of winning the next election. Mm-hmm. I am the candidate that does that. I'm also the candidate whose life disproves the lies of the radical left.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to leave it there. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, thank you so very much for being with us, sir. Appreciate you.
Look forward to seeing the Newsmax debate sometime in the future.
Absolutely.